Hello there my fellow deep thinkers, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be having another less scripted video where I'm just going to have more of a podcast style conversation with you. I've not given it any thought exactly on how long this video is going to go on for, but I guess we'll just start talking and get into it. I've got the subject idea here. It's not like I'm just going to randomly come up with a subject off the top of my head like I've done a couple of times before, but we've got the subject of UFO sightings. What do they mean? Like, what are they? What could they be? Like, do they have any validity to them? We're going to discuss a couple of them, and we're going to discuss places like Area 51 and things like that, and just kind of try and break down that stuff and see how it's under the guise of, like, I'm guessing if these UFO sightings are 100% true, this is what I would guess. If some of these UFO sightings are actually true, then it's most likely that we do, in fact, have the solution to the Fermi paradox, which is probably the zoo hypothesis situation where somebody's observing the planet, some sort of civilization, and they are, taking notes, they're doing whatever, discovering more about our species, perhaps to learn more about themselves. Very interesting to ponder on what the reason that they could be here for. It's most likely that to study us, because we find all manner of creatures on this planet interesting. So I can tell you for a fact that if we were a spacefaring super advanced civilization and we could find that there was some sort of life relatively close on a cosmic scale towards us, we would definitely be going out there trying to discover it and study it and learn more about it, to learn what the nature of this life is, and kind of to try and learn more about our own planet's life previously, way back when, because you'd see it and go, okay, that's got microbial life on it, and maybe it's spanned to complex life like plants and maybe some types of animals and things like that, and then you might see it progress onto life like us, where it becomes a society and everything like that. So it's quite interesting to think about that for sure. But back to the thought of UFOs. We have things like the Roswell incident. That was a very, very shady one. That is in my notes. It says Roswell, very shady. It was indeed a very shady event. We don't know whether that was actually somebody genuinely mistaking a hot air balloon for an alien spaceship, or the fact of, it's just weird to me that the people there were saying that they could grab it, crush it into a ball, and then it just take its original form. Like, that's very, very strange, but I'm not 100% sure what that means. It's very weird how they sent out the newspaper, like, to the newspaper, sent out news, oh, we found a UFO, all these things, and then people come in and like, hey, you, officer who found it, come and pose with this hot air balloon and just let them know you're wrong. And it's just, it was just quite funny. It seems very shady, even if it is, like, actually that's how it was and he was mistaken. Like, it's just so funny how shady it actually really is. Like, it makes me chuckle. And we do have other ones like the Phoenix Lights. That one's very weird. I've seen the pictures that people have taken of that and the videos that people have taken of that, and it is very weird. Perhaps it could be some sort of stealth bomber or something like that. Maybe when they were developing tech on things, different military aircrafts like that, there was possibilities that there was flights in the area, dropping flares at that time, but apparently there was no military aircrafts in the air at that time, or not enough to make up the amount of lights that there in fact actually was, and it was too much in a shape like to be that, and it's another very, very weird one. So that's one that is more explainable than the Roswell one for sure. Like, the Roswell one is super shady. This one is a little bit easy to explain away, I guess. But then we have the most famous thing of all time. We have Area 51. People were planning on storming it to try and find the aliens, and to be honest, that is mind-numbingly stupid, because why, after how many years have people been speculating the Area 51 has aliens in it? Come on, if it had aliens in it, you don't think they've moved it to a base that is actually not known about? Like, it makes no sense why it would be in Area 51. It's just a ploy for a place. Oh yeah, we definitely don't keep aliens here, please don't investigate. And it's like, oh, they keep aliens in Area 51, and it's just like, well, nope, we actually keep them in Area 69, baby. No, I'm kidding. Like, we don't know where it would be, or if they do, or it's, to me, if these UFO sightings and different weird things like that are true, then it is very likely, like I say, that it is a zoo hypothesis style situation. I'll admit, through looking at the night sky through my telescope and things like that, because that's the kind of dude I am. I have a telescope. I look at the moon, look at the planets, all of that when I can see them, look at the stars, and get lost in the beautiful nature of the universe. But I've seen some strange things, like nothing that I'm like, oof, that could be an alien, but no, nothing like that. But like, yeah, I've seen it where I'm like, that's weird, but it's probably like a satellite, like maybe. For sure, like I saw one time when I was looking at the moon, I just saw a light like fly past, but I couldn't see it like with my naked eye. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't see it with my naked eye, so I could only see it with the telescope, and I was trying to follow it, and then I lost it, and I looked up and I could not see it. Like, it was nowhere, and it was moving. It wasn't even moving like ridiculously fast, but it was moving in a trajectory which kind of looked, you know, a little bit too planned, or just like in a certain direction. Is probably most likely just a satellite. That's usually what it is. It's probably some sort of satellite or something in the orbit of the planet. Like, you know, maybe it's even the International Space Station that some of these people are seeing sometimes. Like, you don't know. It's quite difficult when you don't actually look into space, look into different things that orbit the planet and everything like that. It's quite difficult for some people to be like, oh yeah, okay, of course it's probably that thing. But if something starts flying around in different directions and going crazy, then I can genuinely understand being like, what in the hell is this thing like? But we unfortunately have not seen too many things like that. Probably the closest thing towards strange alien life that we've seen is definitely that thing, the bloke in the Air Force. I forget his name, sorry. I will do an actual video where I discuss most of these topics in full, but there was a US Air Force guy who captured some weird tic-tac looking object flying. That was very strange. Like, nobody's been able to identify what that was, but the difficulty with that is, like, could that be somebody else, some other country's technology that they've been investing into way back then? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not a person who's aliens are here right now hater. I'm not a hater of that. I think the zoo hypothesis is a very great solution to the Fermi paradox, because it to be honest, it opens up more questions if it's not the zoo hypothesis. The zoo hypothesis makes it a little bit more simple for us, because it's like, okay, yeah, so the reason we can't detect it is because there's a freaking civilization looking at us right now and observing us, and it's like, well, we're not letting you discover us, like, because we need to finish off our experiments or whatever they're doing. Like, so whatever that is, we can figure it out in the end. We won't, if it's a billions of years old civilization, even millions of years old civilization, it's very unlikely that we'll detect it. So we'll only know that it's there when it wants us to know about it. Perhaps now that our technology's getting better, maybe we're getting towards the point of where they would maybe come to us and be like, hey, do you want to join the Galactic Council? And we're just like, oh, there's a Galactic Council? Why have you been observing us this whole time and not said anything to us? But yeah, the whole concept with it all is just very, very, very strange to ponder on. It's not something that I find myself thinking about too often, because I have to say to myself, am I a person who is 100% in on the UFOs and things like that? I do believe that there is some weird nature. Like I say, some things all have their own validity to it. We don't know all of the information at all. Like, perhaps one of these UFO sightings was actually a UFO. Perhaps some of them are just phenomena that have happened. We don't know. Like, we really don't. And it's just like, things are always shrouded in mystery, and it's quite hard because we're not in control as much as we think we are. We're in control here on planet Earth because we are the civilization on the planet, and we're, you know, somewhat in control, but we don't control what the weather is. We don't control, you know, there's a lot of things that are out of our control. We don't control weather, you know, everything like that. We don't control that aspect of it. We can only control our society, which controls you know, how much land we have, and, you know, how much crops and things we plant and how much area we demolish to create houses and that. You know, it's very strange. Thinking about aliens in spaceships coming here is very strange. Perhaps they are here 100%, perhaps they're not. We're gonna keep discussing that. I believe the first time we encounter alien life, if it's not that, if it's not a zoo hypothesis style situation, it could either be on Mars, Enceladus, you know, plenty of the other ones, Titan, could be on some of those planets, and we've discussed that in the Search for Alien Life in the Solar System video on the channel. So if you want to consider checking that one out, uploaded it about 3 weeks ago. You'll be able to see it as a couple of videos down on the channel, so make sure you check that one out because it's very interesting discussing alien life in the solar system, and very soon we will be making alien life in the galaxy video as well, so yes, consider checking that out. I've talked for long enough now already. It's been 11 minutes, so I thank you all very, very much for watching. Thank you for the ongoing support of the channel. Keep watching the videos, keep sharing them to your friends. If you enjoy speculation and deep thinking, comment on the videos and I'll try and get back to you. I live quite a busy life, so I'll try my best to get back to you. So much love, peace out, and I really appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.